everybody. Welcome to an ActionFeatures.net Comics Rewind review. We're on week 4. You want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
I read the 4th issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle IDW series, and this one's like about like at the beginning it's Casey Jones, I almost said Michelangelo.
Yeah, Raphael.
And Hob. And so after that they have like this flashback thing, and it's like when the Ninja Turtles, like a little bit after they become mutants, they're still in training. And so after that they like there's an ending to it.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it though. Yeah. Well, I remember this issue, and it was cool that you found out more about Hob and his kind of connection to the Turtles in this one, which I thought was cool. Yeah, don't say what his connection is. And then something really cool happens in this issue, but we're not going to say what.
I just want to say it's not as good as the other 3 I've read so far. The ending was amazing, but
you still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, they can't all be equally great.
I give the other one 3 thumbs up if I had it in another hand, and I'd give that one 2 thumbs up.
Up in the hand for you. There it is.
And
this one still gets 2 thumbs up. It's a great book still. I agree that it maybe doesn't have the kind of pacing of the first ones, but it was something really cool does happen.
Right.
And it's a solid book still. I mean, I'm glad you're still enjoying it.
And why does he have his mask on in the cover?
Well, a lot of times they'll do covers that don't actually take place in the issue. So you're still enjoying Turtles? You still think it's a great series?
I'm gonna keep reading it.
That's great. I'm just gonna keep reading it because I love it too. So we still recommend Turtles. He's on issue 4. I recommend Turtles all the way through what I've read, but Blaze is still recommending it up to the point he's
I actually just want to say something. There might actually be a few little spaces between, like, let's say next week I do a different comic that may not be Turtles, but the next week after that it's going to be back to Turtles. So I may, like, sometimes there may be...
Mix it up?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you only got a few more issues to go.
Yeah, but it's also just going to keep going.
The book's going to keep going. Yeah, you don't want to be just stuck on Turtles again.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you'll take a break next week and then come back to it.
Right.
Because you did get to a point at this issue that it's a good kind of take a pause and go on to the next issue. I read a lot of books this week, and I'm going to try not to spend too much time on each one of them so I don't bore you. I started off with giving Marvel another shot and picking up these first 2 Iron Man trades from the Invincible Iron Man series.
Are they any good?
The current series. I didn't really enjoy them very much. This is by Matt Fraction and Salvador Larroca. I love Sal Larroca's art. It's still great in this. And Matt Fraction, I'm not a big... I don't really know his writing that well. And I don't think it's really his fault that I didn't enjoy these. It's more the whole Marvel crossovers fault.
Right.
These came out right around the time of Civil War, where the Marvel Universe was kind of split between the heroes that wanted people to register and say their secret identities and register with the government, and those that thought that was a violation of freedoms and things like that. Right. So you had Iron Man on the side of, we want people to register. You had Cap on the side of people, that's against America, that's not right.
Who are you with, Iron Man or Cap?
I'm with Cap.
I'm with Cap.
No doubt. I'm Team Cap. But I love Iron Man, so that's why I picked these up. This first trade is better than the second one. It's called The 5 Nightmares, and it deals with Ezekiel Stane, Obadiah Stane, if you watch the first Iron Man movie. His son, he gets a hold of this biotechnology, basically. He can turn humans into bombs, and he's going to use this thing to take out Stark Enterprises. And meanwhile, Tony is dealing with, being the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and trying to keep his company going and all these different things.
I have a question about that issue.
Yeah.
So, is that one guy, the bad guy in this, is that the son of Ironmonger then? Would that...
That's him, yeah. That's the son of Obadiah Stane, the guy that is Ironmonger.
Cool. So
this one was okay. Again, you're kind of caught in the middle of the crossover, so you're stuck with all that. Plus, this takes place after Extremis, the miniseries written by Warren Ellis that kind of changed Iron Man a bit and made his armor sort of part of him, so that he can, like comes out of his bones or whatever. It's a little, so that makes it a little difficult to understand right off the bat. That if you don't know anything about Extremis, you don't know why he's like this.
Right.
This next one is it takes place right after this miniseries, but there's so many events that happen as part of Civil War and I guess Invasion and the Skrulls and Tony's company, all the technology malfunctioning. So there's this huge jump between this one and this one, even though they're right in a row, that you don't really know what's going on because of all the crossovers. And there's some enjoyable parts here, kind of Tony on the run from Namor, or not from Namor, but from Norman Osborn, who's now the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Maria Hill, and Pepper Potts getting her armor after being hurt. And so there's some enjoyable stuff in here, but there's so much of just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
It's like his girlfriend has armor now or whatever.
She got hurt in that one. So he had to put like a arc type thing in her chest too, like he used to have. And so then she got this like protection armor.
And I have a question about the back.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh.
That's her armor. So I would not recommend picking those up to somebody that's not currently hip with Marvel and doesn't know what's going on, because you'll just be like, what is going on? And that's my problem with Marvel and why I kind of gave it up. So I won't be picking up any more of those because I don't know everything that's going on, and I don't want to have to be forced to buy 15 other trades. As far as like going really far back to well, not really far back, but back to the 90s, I think that I went ahead and reread the second Robin miniseries, which is Robin 2, The Joker's Wild. This is by the same team that did the first one, Chuck Dixon and Tom Lyle. The Tom Lyle art isn't as good on this one as it was in the first one, and I'm definitely not a big fan of his Joker, but still really solid with the comparison to the first one. This one deals with the Tim Drake Robin's first run-in with the Joker. As we all know, Joker killed the second Robin, Jason Todd, so this is the first time they're going to cross paths. Batman's out of town, so Robin's got to do it on his own, and Joker's plot...
That's kinda neat.
Yeah, which is cool. Joker's plot is he's abducted this computer guy, and he's running a virus through Gotham and kind of shutting Gotham down. And so Robin's got to figure out the plot. He's also got to try and make it seem that Batman's still there. It's solid. It's 4 issues, and you'll be able to find these back issues for dirt cheap. It's a good, solid story. There's especially a good scene where Robin's kind of talking to his dad, who's in a coma, and kind of unloading on what it's like to be Robin. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And isn't there a pic... Oh, wait, I was talking about something. Those holograms, are each of them different, or are they all the same?
No, they're all different. One of these books, I didn't have one on there.
There's that Joker. Their Joker.
Oh, there were different covers for them. So some of the covers didn't have them, some of them did. I think the second issue actually has the Batman hologram, but I don't have the hologram cover on that one. So you'll find those dirt cheap if you want to pick it up. But it's a good solid read. And the last one is a current book, and that's the Shadow book that came out. I'm a big fan of the Shadow character, and I've been dying for this comic to come out. I love the radio dramas. I like the Alec Baldwin film. It's a good first issue. I was a little worried because Garth Ennis is the writer, and sometimes I think he writes for shock value. But there was really not a ton of shock value type stuff in this. It has kind of Shadow going after some bad guys in the beginning, and then a lot of the book is spent with Lamont Cranston talking to these guys and setting up the next issue. We get Margot towards the end, and we kind of get a reveal that Shadow can kind of have a little bit of vision into the future when he needs to. But it was a good introduction. I was hoping for a little more meat to it, but it was a good introduction, and I'm happy to have the Shadow back, so I'll definitely keep coming back to that.
And so, is there does he just fight robbers, or is there a big bad guy in the Shadow?
For the most part, it'll be just gangsters. I mean, I'm sure they're going to set something up, but for now, it's just gangsters. Okay. We'll get more into that as the book rolls along, all that. But for now, it's just kind of doing the gangster thing, which is fine with me. Yeah. I guess that's it. So you're going to read some more Turtles, or are you going to do something different next week?
I'm going to do something different next week.
I think it's a good idea. That we can break it up some. And I'll probably read... I meant to read Birth of the Demon, the Batman Demon trade. I think it was Bride of the Demon, Son of the Demon? I can't remember what it's called. But I'm going to read some Ra's al Ghul stuff, I think. This time for sure. And that'll be it for this week, right?
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.
Bye.
So long.